Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. US President Joe Biden has declared a whole-of-government response to ensure abortion access in Texas after a new pro-life law came into effect in the state on Wednesday. The law is known as the Texas Heartbeat Act. It prohibits abortions after the detection of a fetal heartbeat, which can occur as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy. Late on Wednesday night, the US Supreme Court rejected a petition to block the new law in a 5-4 decision. The following day, President Biden said he had directed his administration to examine what steps the federal government can now take to ensure that women in Texas continue to have access to legal abortions. Meanwhile, the Governor of South Dakota has vowed to enact even stronger pro-life laws. In a statement posted on social media, Governor Noem said she has directed the unborn child advocate in her office to immediately review the new Texas law and the laws of her state to ensure that South Dakota has the strongest pro-life laws in the United States of America. An Anglican bishop in England has announced that he's stepping down from his post and resigning from the Church of England in order to become a Catholic. For the past 8 years, the Right Reverend Jonathan Goodall has been the Anglican Bishop of Ebbsfleet to the south of London. Now he says he has decided to become Catholic after a long period of prayer. Providentially, he issued his statement on September the 3rd. That's the feast of St. Gregory the Great, the 6th century Pope who launched a mission to convert England to Christianity. 73 school students in Nigeria have been abducted by armed gunmen. The incident took place on Wednesday at the Government Day Secondary School in the village of Kaya in the northwestern state of Zamfara. Police say they have initiated a rescue effort and are still working with the military to secure the students' safe return. Kidnappings for ransom in Nigeria were first carried out by the Islamist group Boko Haram, but the tactic has now been adopted by other criminal gangs. In the country's northwest and central regions, over 1,000 students have been abducted since December of last year. The vast majority have been released after negotiations with the abductors. A priest in Cameroon who was abducted by separatist rebels has been released after 2 days in captivity. Monsignor Julius Agbortoko Agbor, who is the Vicar General of the Mamfe Diocese, was captured on Sunday after the armed gang entered the compound of the diocesan major seminary where he resided. The abductors demanded a ransom for the safe return of the young cleric. The local diocese have denied paying any money for his return. Church leaders have become prized targets for attacks ever since the separatist war started in Cameroon 5 years ago, after the English-speaking minority, concentrated in the country's northwest and southwest regions, protested against what they see as abuses by the French-speaking majority. A Vatican investigation has officially exonerated Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio of the Diocese of Brooklyn of any wrongdoing after the American prelate had been accused by 2 men of abusing them as children in the 1970s. The accusations, which date back to the bishop's time as a young priest in Jersey City, were found by the Vatican to, quote, not have the semblance of truth. Bishop DiMarzio, who has always insisted upon his innocence, welcomed the Vatican decision. He could now face civil actions, however, brought by the 2 accusers. In response to that prospect, Bishop DiMarzio says he welcomes the opportunity to further clear his name. The niece of the late American civil rights leader Martin Luther King has announced that she is launching a new pro-life organisation. Dr. Alveda King says her new group, entitled Speak for Life, will specifically work with elementary, middle school, high school and college students to build a foundational worldview of the sanctity of life and human dignity. Dr. King says her team is already working on a small group curriculum that will be used by churches and schools around the United States. Dr. Alveda King is a former member of the Georgia House of Representatives and the founder of Alveda King Ministries. Churches in Pakistan are increasing security in the wake of the Islamist Taliban returning to power in neighbouring Afghanistan. The pro-religious liberty group Human Friends Organisation in Pakistan say they are concerned that Taliban-affiliated groups and other Islamists may take advantage of the present situation in Afghanistan to attack Christians in Pakistan. Hence, church leaders there have now decided to enhance surveillance of church premises and deploy armed guards, especially on Sundays and other holy days. And finally, a Lebanese shrine dedicated to the parents of St. Therese of Lisieux seems to be attracting both Christians and Muslims. The little shrine dedicated to St. Louis and Zélie Martin is located at a Carmelite monastery in the Beirut suburb of Hasmia. According to its custodian, Father Raymond Abdo, many husbands and wives of all faiths visit the shrine to pray to the saintly 19th century French couple. He also claims there are instances where Muslims with Christian spouses embrace Christianity after visiting and praying at the shrine. Well, that's your latest news headlines for now. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also visit us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.